Hi, and welcome to the Skincarma Pod. I'm Carmine, the creator and voice of the Skincarma blog. With more than 25 years in beauty as a brand builder, copywriter, and skincare junkie, I'm putting my product wisdom and expertise to work demystifying skincare. Today on the Skincarma Pod, I'm joined by Dr. Lamise Hamdan, an integrative medical doctor, naturopathic practitioner, longevity expert, and the visionary founder of Timebeam Skincare. Dr. Lamise believes she's cracked the code to achieving and maintaining a youthful complexion by weaving longevity science into our routines early, ASAP. Yeah, that means starting now. Her philosophy begins with one simple but profound truth: everything is connected. As a physician, she addresses the whole person, mind and body, not just symptoms, but root causes. With her new groundbreaking brand, Timebeam, Dr. Lamise is bringing that same holistic approach to skin longevity, blending cutting edge topicals with ingestible supplements to deliver what she sees as a more comprehensive and effective skincare regimen. As you'll see, for Dr. Lamise, skin longevity isn't just about looking young, it's about extending your skin's health span so that it functions optimally to radiate vitality for as long as possible. That, of course, is what longevity is all about. And it's why her formulations go beyond the surface, combining NAD plus boosters with adaptogens like reishi and rhodiola to support resilience and bolster skin's defenses against aging triggers. Optimal skin health requires balance, inside and out. I'm excited to speak with her about her groundbreaking vision for the future of skincare, the buzzy science of longevity, and why supporting both body and mind is the key to optimizing your skin health. Let's do this. Let's talk to Dr. Lamise. Dr. Lamise, hi.
Hi, how are you, Carmine?
I'm great, thanks. Welcome to the Skin Karma Pod. I'm so honored that you took time out to be with me today.
I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah, we have so much to talk about. Longevity, of course, is super buzzy in the skincare space, and we're going to get into that. But first, I'd like you to talk about who you are, where you grew up, your education. I saw that you went to college in Dublin, one of
Yes,
my favorite cities.
it is. It's great.
Yeah.
I'm from Dubai originally, but I
Ah.
grew up in Ann Arbor, Michigan, because both my parents went to do their higher education in Michigan. So go blue for anyone who's listening. And then I came back to Dubai when I was about 10 years old, finished my high school there, and then studied medicine in Dublin, Ireland. And
Mm.
I was there during the tiger economy. So it was a very exciting time for Dublin and for Ireland in general. So, by training, I'm an integrative medical doctor. I'm a graduate of the Royal College of Surgeons in Ireland and the Andrew Weil Integrative Institute at the University of Arizona Medical School. I've also studied lifestyle medicine and alternative therapies of Southeast Asia, Europe, Middle East. I'm a herbalist as well and a naturopathic practitioner. And all this led me to find the fact that everything is connected, everything we do, and also that longevity and being healthy and increasing your health span is so much easier than we think.
Mm.
And I think that people complicate it because it makes them seem smarter, but it
Mm.
really is 4 or 5 things that you do consistently again and again and again that hits these longevity markers in your body that make you feel younger, look younger, and live longer.
Can we talk about what those 4 or 5 things are? I have to tell you, I'm a huge fanboy. I love watching your videos. And there was a video that you did. You talked about how I think you might start every morning with a half a cup of blueberries. And I do the
Yes.
exact same thing. And it made me so proud when I heard that. I was like, oh my God, I knew I was onto something.
Well, you are because
Yeah.
first of all, it is getting your circadian rhythm, i.e., your sleep and your waking hours correct. Because
Mm.
without restful, rejuvenating sleep, you are going to be just really everything's going to break down in your body, starting from your mitochondria, because chronic sleep deprivation
Mm.
does that. Increases cortisol, leads to weight gain, leads to increased sebum production. So you even get, an oily face that might lead to acne. So sleeping and sleeping before 11 p.m. is super
Mm.
important. I wish someone told me that when I was in my 20s and 30s, because everyone was like, 8 hours of sleep, 8 hours of sleep. But they didn't know enough about the brain's lymphatic system, the
Yeah.
glymphatic system, to actually say, well, actually, you should be sleeping before 11, so your brain has a better chance at getting rid of all the accumulation of wastes, toxins, these tau proteins that have been linked to Alzheimer's and dementia. So sleep is important. And when you wake up, you want to have had refreshed sleep, so you're awake and ready to go all through the day. Energy, good metabolic energy. Most of the issues we face with type 2 diabetes just being on the end of the spectrum, but a lot of us have metabolic disorders. We don't know why we can't lose weight. We don't know why we're just so sluggish all the time. So good energy is one of them. If we're talking about skin, because this is a Skincarma podcast,
Yeah.
we know that, consistent use of sunscreens also helps avoid the UV damage that happens to our skin. And then you've got the smoking, the alcohol. People still, when I say people, I say doctors still refuse to say that all alcohol is actually not good for you. They
Yeah.
still say, oh, moderate consumption's okay. It isn't. The studies have shown that it isn't. So I like to give the information and then you do with it what you will. Because I know that Diet Coke isn't great for me. And do I have it once in a while? Yes, I
Coke
do.
Zero right here.
Yeah, but at least I know.
Right.
And I think as doctors, however unpopular something is, we have to say it as it is. And I think that's part of the reason a lot of people now are anti-doctors, anti-pharmacology. It's because we haven't been 100% transparent with them.
Yeah.
And
I
good
love what
food.
I love what you said about sleep. I mentioned earlier about the Botox for migraines. Um, and I consider myself balanced and healthy, and the fact that I suffer, I hate that word, from chronic migraine seems so ridiculous to me. I go to bed every night. My friends joke with me like I won't even go out to dinner if dinner isn't done by 7:30
Mhm.
because I need to be in bed at 9. And I don't have an alarm. I wake up the same time basically every day, sometime between 4:30 and 5:30. And granted, I have a cat, and so
Mm.
maybe he's helped me, get into a routine. But that's my routine. It's every single day. I don't care what day of the week it is. And I guess I mean, it could be boring. I have the same thing for breakfast every day. I have my bowl of berries and dairy-free yogurt and some granola, and like I like really crave these things, and it's so interesting to me how the things that you eat are the things that you crave. And if you can get yourself into that mindset of really focusing on the healthy things. And one of your videos, you actually saddened me when you dissed chocolate. It was dark chocolate. I
Yes.
was like,
I,
oh no.
but that's the thing. We take
Yeah.
cocoa powder is
Yeah.
great. It has
Yeah.
got like thousands of more ORAC potential, which is the antioxidant
Yeah.
capacity. It's got thousands of more potential than blueberry. So cocoa is great, but have undutched cocoa powder, which is unprocessed. What we do is we
Mm.
process the cocoa powder to make it less bitter, taking away 70% of the antioxidant capacity. And then we put butter and we put processed oils and whatever with it
Sugar.
and
Yeah.
sugar.
Yeah.
But, try look at those recipes on social media that do like cocoa powder with something and something, and see if you can find a chocolate that you like using a non-Dutch cocoa powder. But
Mm.
I'm with you. I go to organic stores, trying chocolates, spitting them out and saying, no, I would rather have a little bit of something that's ultra processed, but I enjoy. And again, it's the 80-20 rule, Carmine.
Yeah.
80% of the time you're good. That 20% be bad. That's fine. Enjoy
Yeah.
it, but enjoy
Yeah.
it. Don't feel
Yeah.
guilty about it. Enjoy the bad things you do at least.
Yeah. And I'd love for you to talk about the concept of integrative medicine.
Yes.
You're an integrative medical doctor first and foremost.
Yes.
And so how does that medical foundation, treating the person as a whole, not just the symptoms, how does that philosophy like imbued into your concept of beauty and the skincare brands that you founded?
Sure. I think it's very much the ethos of Timebeam, the skincare brand that I founded, because everything is connected.
Hmm.
And unfortunately, within it, the skincare industry has not gotten any different. No disruption has happened. No major change has happened in the past 20 years. We're still looking at skincare as cleanser, toner, moisturizer, retinol, and another
Mm.
moisturizer and eye cream. What else has even K beauty has not disrupted anything? If anything, it's just allowed us more steps.
Yeah.
But no one is looking at skincare as the inside out and the outside in. We're looking at it outside in, topical, but that's not the full solution because the inside in is super important. Ask anyone on the street, if does your mood affect your skin? They'll say yes. Does
Mm.
stress affect your skin? Oh, yes, it does. Hormones, do they affect your skin?
Mm.
Yes, they do. Diet, does that affect your skin? Sleep, does that affect your skin? Yes, 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 and yes. So why aren't we looking at the complete solution? And that's where I think it's because you don't have integrative medical doctors and very few medical doctors, if any, behind skincare brands. And specialists, like doctors, we need specialists, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes they don't see the forest for the trees. They're so focused on skin and only skin, but they don't realize that there's a whole other ecosystem of hormones that affect the skin, diet, sleep that affect the skin. So, with my concept of beauty, I have done topicals, yes, because you do need topicals. And I've done ingestibles as well, which I call skincare. And these ingestibles are one in the morning, one at night, because I'm busy. I'm not into 7-step skincare. There you go. Carmine, I'm not into 7-step skincare and I'm
Yeah.
not into 7-step supplements either.
Mm.
So this is like 4 or 5 of what you require in the day, including an NAD plus booster, which is amazing. We can just talk about that maybe later because
Yeah.
that's a lot to ingest. It's an NAD plus booster, but also electrolytes. I've got vitamin B12. I've got hyaluronic acid that studies have shown, even taken internally, hydrates the skin from the inside out. And I've got an adaptogen. Now, what are adaptogens? They're this really cool subset of herbs that help your body deal with stress. And stress, there are 2 types of aging. The old type of aging is aging due to UV exposure and reversing that with retinols and protecting that with vitamin C, which is good because that
Yeah.
is a big chunk of aging. But recently, because of our lifestyles and because of the amount of stress we are all under, I believe we're all chronically stressed. Because of that, there's another subset of aging, not just of the body, but also of the skin, called inflammaging,
Mm.
aging due to excessive inflammation. And that comes from lack of sleep, ultra processed food, and stress.
See, I have
So,
those final two are issues for me. I got the
yeah,
sleep down, but
yeah.
the stress. Uh, how can you? I often think about this, and I'm fine. I love science. I
Mhm,
trust the science. I'm the king of antioxidants. Like, to me, I can't get enough antioxidants.
mhm,
I even take 500 milligrams of vitamin C before bed. I
yeah,
take it before bed and I take it in the morning because I know the body really processes vitamin C very quickly.
True.
Um, I take 1,000 milligrams of niacinamide in the morning. And so I believe in all of that, and I think that I've gotten to my advanced age, and my skin quality looks pretty good because I have believed and kind of embraced all of that. But how do you know? How do you know that you have an excessive level of inflammation in your body? Like, how can you tell?
Well, there are tests, blood tests that you can do.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it's called C-reactive protein. It sort of indirectly measures inflammation,
Mm,
and it's not 100% though. We just look at you sometimes, and we can see there's a lot of inflammation going on. Sometimes we have to do tests, and sometimes just from a history. It's like, what are you eating? Are
mm,
you sleeping? How are your stress levels? And if you want to measure cortisol, which again, an indirect form of inflammation and an indirect form of measuring stress as well,
yeah.
you do a 24-hour salivary cortisol test. So even the tests aren't perfect, but we can. Um, but it really is from a history,
Yeah.
from just a doctor sitting with you for more than 15 minutes
Mm,
and really knowing you and getting that history from you. That's why integrative medical doctors, you sit about an hour and a half with them, and they
wow.
really like peel. It's like an onion, because you might think, oh no, I'm not stressed, I'm fine. And then we
Right.
peel the onion and we
Right.
see,
You're like,
you
hello.
know,
Yeah.
maybe you've been living with this stress all your life. It's become the new norm for you.
Mm, that's such a
How
great
are your
point.
vitamin D
Uh,
levels? I think, yeah,
I
yeah,
actually
everyone,
I take a vitamin D supplement because I'm
perfect.
a man and I wear a lot of sunscreen, and
Yeah,
my vitamin D levels are actually really good. They're
good,
either
good.
like smack in the middle of that green bar or
Yes, yes,
above it. My magnesium levels are outstanding. Because I
perfect.
take all these supplements that
Yes,
mitigate against migraine, but obviously they're not fully effective or 100%
yeah.
effective. Um, all right, so let's jump into longevity, right? Like this is the nut I want to crack. It's the buzziest word in beauty. We talked earlier. There's legacy brands like Lancome, like they're shifting their entire brand identities, like 100-year-old brand, and repositioning franchises that have been on the market for 20 years around longevity, which I think is hilarious. And then there's new brands like Timebeam that are launching with skin longevity at the core of their being. Like this is what the brand embodies. And so can you define longevity for us, beyond simply living longer?
I think longevity, when you look at it from a body perspective or a whole human perspective, for me, I know we say longevity because that's what everyone understands, but really we should be talking about the health span. You want
Mm,
to live longer, but you don't want to live longer on a bed. You want to
right.
live longer being able to move, being able to be independent, being able to have no aches and pains. Everyone says that aging is inevitable. Of course it is. I'm 50. I have never hidden my age because it's like there's nothing wrong with being 30 or 40 or 50 or 60 or whatever.
Hmm.
Aging is inevitable, but the breakdown that comes with aging, that's not inevitable. That happens because of certain issues, and every human is different, but we can prevent that. We can make you stay younger and feel younger for longer. So, what we're talking about is prevention, resilience, and trying to change, stop, and potentially reverse any damage that has already been done. And for me, when you're talking about longevity, it's not just another word for anti-aging. Not at
Mm,
all. It really is going to the cell at a molecular level. And you can't really do that with topicals.
right.
You have to have ingestibles as part of the equation, because anti-aging, yes, topicals can help. Again, not 100% of the solution, but it can help. But if you're talking about longevity and you're not talking about what I'm putting into my body and powering my cells, uh, decreasing stress, stress is a major ager. It really does accelerate aging, whether it accelerates the aging of your arteries with
Hmm.
cholesterol and plaque buildup, or whether it accelerates also the aging of your skin. And stress does both. And that's why we really, in skincare, need to get a handle on stress. So when I talk about longevity, I really mean actual longevity. Sleep, super important for longevity, because that's when your body repairs and that's when it gets rid of the things that don't serve it anymore, the bad cells, the
Mm.
mutated cells, the cells it doesn't need. So it's not just about putting a topical on that will make me look like I had 8 hours of sleep even though I didn't. I'm telling you, don't do that, because you need 8 hours of sleep once in a while. Okay, but no, consistently, please see the importance of helping your body reset, rejuvenate, and repair what needs repairing in your body. So for me, longevity is not just another word for anti-aging. It really is. It's a whole different phenomenon, and it needs different ingredients, whether it's in or out, out or in, to really hit the nail on the head, to hit where, what we need with longevity. What is it that we need? I can't exercise for you, but I can give you energy for your mitochondria. I can help make you more insulin sensitive. I can make your cortisol levels decrease. I can increase your glutathione levels. And I'm just talking about what my ingestible can do for you. I'm not even talking about topicals. So that's why for me, longevity, if we're really serious about skincare and longevity, we have to think, what else can I take to help support my body in this quest for longevity?
It really is a matter of priority, right? Like,
Yes.
yeah. Like you said, you can't make me exercise, you can't make me eat more healthy, but you can put it out there and certainly make me not sleep or make me sleep. And
Yes.
I think about how my sleep is such a priority to me, and it never was until I would say probably 10 years ago.
Hmm.
um and I think a lot of we all this is our culture, right? We party, we stay out late, we think it's a badge of honor to stay up till 3 in the morning or to binge a Netflix show all night until you finish it. Like, I would never do that now, never. Like, I stop shows. Like, I was watching House of Guinness last night, and I stopped halfway through it because it was 9:30, and like
Right.
that is like that's the red line for me. Like, done, going to bed. I'm not doing this. I'll watch the rest of it tomorrow. So it really is about prioritizing what's right for your body and your mind.
And Carmine, so many people have issues with sleep, and so many people are either self medicating with marijuana, which is
Mm,
not something that I recommend for sleep. And number two, they're taking melatonin. I think the only people that should be on melatonin every single day are people who are 70 years old and above, because they're just not producing, their body is just not producing enough melatonin, and they need it. But the herbs and the supplements can really help you with sleep.
yeah.
Tart cherry, for instance, I've used it. It is nature's own melatonin. It actually helps your body produce its own endogenous melatonin, which is great. So you're not overdosing on melatonin and waking up groggy in the morning. And by taking melatonin as melatonin drops, you're actually stopping your own body's production of melatonin. Why
I was
would you
going to
want
ask you that. Yeah.
Yeah, it does. And that's the NAD conundrum that we have as
Mm.
well. Everyone's getting NAD IVs, and I'm like, no, no, no. Has a doctor recommended an NAD IV? No. And I'll tell you why. Because you're inundating your body with NAD plus, far more than what it needs. And your body's very smart. It's like, whoa, that's a lot of NAD. I don't need to
Mm.
produce my own because it's just, I've got too much.
It's
And
magical. It's coming automatically.
and it really is too much for the body. You don't need that much. What you need is to take your body from deficient to youthful. And we've
Yeah.
actually tested our AM supplement on a 40-year-old woman,
Hmm.
and she did an NAD blood test, and it showed her to be deficient. I think she was about 23 micromoles, which is deficient. And I
Hmm.
told her, okay, since you're under a lot of stress, take 2 of these a day. We tested her 8 days later, and she was at youthfulness. She was at
Wow.
40. And that was just 8 days. So oral NAD plus, if you have the right one, does work. And it's like the Goldilocks effect, where too little won't do very much. Too
Hmm.
much is not good for you either. It's this balance. And everything is connected. You really have to understand the body, not just that one pathway, the NAD plus. You really have to understand how it reacts and communicates with each other as well, because everything is connected. Your mind, your body, your soul, and of course, all the thousands upon thousands of biochemical reactions that happen in your body.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about the products. We talked about Bounce Mode, which is the morning supplement that I
Yes,
love. It tastes amazing. I put it in my morning juice with a half an apple.
I
I
just take it
usually
like this.
grind up a half an apple, just down it. Yeah.
I love it. But
Yeah.
let me tell you, this has so NAD plus has been researched since or its importance in longevity has been researched since the 1960s. But it really is David Sinclair of Harvard who's really put it on the map to take it as a supplement. So there was NR, there was NMN, and now there's a new kid on the block, which is the NAD plus booster we use. Because the difference between this NAD plus and NMN and NR, which everyone else has, is that yes, they all increase NAD plus and ATP. Why is it? Can we just back up a little bit and really explain why NAD plus is so important?
Yeah.
NAD plus helps your body produce ATP. ATP is the universal energy source of every single cell in your body, which is very powerful. Your liver cells, your nail cells, your hair cells, your skin cells, your heart cells, your brain cells all need to be powered by ATP. So, this universal energy source, when you take it, it's not just going to your skin. It's not just going to your fibroblasts to create collagen and elastin. It's going to every single cell in your body. So, just by doing that, you're powering your cells. Number 2, this particular NAD plus has been shown in human trials to decrease cortisol levels.
Mm.
They did a double blind crossover study and saw waking salivary cortisol go down with the ingestion of this particular NAD plus. And they saw glutathione and superoxide dismutase go
Mm.
up. NMN and NR don't do that. Now, glutathione, superoxide dismutase are master antioxidants. And people who know their skin really well will recognize glutathione as helping brighten the skin when taken internally. But what this is not glutathione, because you can't ingest glutathione. What this particular ingredient does is helps your body recycle glutathione, your own glutathione, 4 times faster.
Mm.
So this is what this particular NAD plus does. Then, of course, it's got the vitamin B12, the adaptogen, hyaluronic acid, and everything. So I think we've talked about this and the importance of the NAD plus in this. However, a lot of ingredients, Carmine, can be inner and outer. So I've got
Yeah.
NAD plus here, and I've got NAD plus in this topical one. Now, this topical NAD plus works a little bit differently. So what it does is it helps your body recycle more of the NAD plus it has. Do you see that glow?
Yeah,
Well,
I love this product.
not only does it have a glow, but this particular NAD plus has been shown in human trial studies as well to take away 8 years of aging in 2 months of use. And it only costs $42. Now, you know that there are other products on the market that are marketed at 100, 150, and
Yes.
even they cannot say that they take 8 years of aging in 2 months of use. And it doesn't work on one aspect of aging, it works on 5 different aspects of aging, one of them being changing your face shape. Again,
Oh,
this is
wow.
the everything is connected bit,
Yeah. Yeah.
because aging is not just fine lines, wrinkles. Yes, it takes care of that as well. The fine lines, the wrinkles, the nasolabial folds, the marionette lines. But when you're young, you have an inverted triangle shape.
Mhm.
As you get older, your jowls become more and more pronounced.
No, no.
You look
I'm just
great.
gonna tighten. I'm gonna tighten my neck.
But even me, I
Yeah.
saw a huge difference. And what it's doing is taking you from a triangle to the inverted triangle
Mm,
again. That's powerful. We have the knowledge, we have the ingredients that do these things topically. I just wonder why we're not putting them all together. Do we not have, I have the knowledge and I'm sure they have the knowledge too. So I hope by or and with Timebeam, we actually push others to do better.
yeah.
I want more options. Not everything. Why do you think people are going for surgery now? Plastic surgery has had a huge renaissance, um, because I think they see that perhaps topical skincare, can only do so much. And yes, it can only do so much, but it can do so much more than you actually think it can
Yeah.
do. I'm not against surgery. And after a certain age, I actually go to a lot of my friends and I say, okay, sweetie, you need to stop with the filler because it's just not helping. If you're going to do something, go do surgery, or just let it be. You're
Yeah.
going to have a little bit of laxity, let it be. If you don't want that, surgery is your only option,
Right.
because,
Right.
that is the truth. But isn't it lovely that we have options? And that's what I want people to know. Everyone's got options. And whether you want to spend, what is it now? The going rate for Dr. Levine, is it $250,000 for his wonderful face? Wow. But if you
Right.
have the money, go for it. Why not? But,
Right.
you know, try and stay younger for longer. It's cheaper.
Totally. Start with sunscreen. For crying out loud, start with sunscreen and wear sunscreen in your immediate eye area, for crying out loud. I mean, that is the thinnest skin on your face and it's the most vulnerable. I had this
Exactly.
conversation with a friend that you brought up, sweetie, look, here's the deal. And a really good friend of mine she's always panicking about her skin and she knows that I'm going to tell her the truth. And she's in Sephora. It must have been about a week ago, and she's like sending me pictures of things. What about this? What about this? It's supposed to tighten your eye area. And what about this? And I'm like, oh my God, how many times do we have to have this conversation? And, I'm like, look, you have to start with sunscreen. And then beyond sunscreen, you got to take a really close look at what you actually can affect. So,
Yeah.
I know you've talked about starting as early as possible. And, sunscreen obviously is preventative. And for me, that's the most important product in my routine. Um, but when is early enough? Like, I'm Gen X, I'll admit, just like you did, like I'm up there. Is it too late? When you talk about
No.
preventative, like how do you frame that? Because obviously, when you're in your 20s, it's easier to prevent everything else that's going to happen.
Well, I used sunscreen when I was 13 years old. Elizabeth Arden had come out with a sunscreen and I was using it. So,
That's
but
amazing.
no, you are never too old. Don't ever think that, oh, it's past me. Begin, I'll give you an example. Beginning
Hmm.
exercise at any age will extend your health span, will extend your longevity. And the same thing with sunscreen. Start anytime. It does mean that, yes, you've got more decades of damage,
Yeah.
but everything can be more or less reversed. And I always say, okay, the best maybe we can do is just to stop it
Right.
there and then. So it doesn't progress, it doesn't get worse. And you're living with yourself now. So you must love the way you look. So that's
Hmm.
fine. Let's try
Yeah.
and stop it. But when it does come to sun damage, you can reverse it. You know that retinols and prescription
Yeah.
retin A actually reverses the damage. Some lasers like Fraxel can reverse the damage, but
Vitamin C can build collagen
vitamin
that
C
you've,
can build.
yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. And so a lot of things, we have so many things, both in a in a dermatologist's office, and things that you can do at home that can help and do reverse the damage caused. So you're actually very lucky to be living in this day and age where we can reverse it. So don't think it's too late. It's never too late. And don't feel guilty. Everyone wants to make other people feel guilty about their lifestyle just so they can be a little bit like holier than thou, is like what
Mm.
I just said. Oh yes, I've used sunscreen since I was
Since I
13,
was
you know?
13.
So there you go. But you've probably had more fun at the beach than I did. So,
Hmm.
it don't feel guilty. There's always something we can do, even if it's as simple as just arresting it there and then.
I love
Um,
that. I mean, you're living in your body now. You must love how you look.
yes,
Stay the way you are now. Yeah, that's
exactly.
such a great philosophy. I love that sentiment. Um, Last question before we get to the lightning round, which is my favorite part. So fast forward 10 years, what do you imagine the longevity beauty space will look like? And how will we actually measure our skin health?
I honestly think that we will be able to walk into an office or even on our phones. AI is
Mm,
amazing. We will be able to just take a picture on our phones, and our phones will be able to tell us that, you overdid it with UV exposure this week. Maybe you should tone it down. You've got too much inflammation going on in your body. You need to increase your antioxidants. So maybe even a weekly checkup. Like, okay, this is what's happening. This is what you need to do. Increase your berries, increase your greens. And it depends.
mm,
Like some people like food first. So it'll be increase your berries. Some people like supplements, and it'll be like, okay, take more vitamin C and astaxanthin supplements. So I think that is going to be the future of longevity beauty, where from our picture and maybe even just a drop of blood, they will
yeah.
be able to tell us what we need to change in order just to be at this optimum functioning, um, with regards to body and with regards to skin. You cannot be sick and have amazing skin. It's just interlinked. So the health of the body is also linked with the health of your skin. If you've got anemia, you've got like this dullness. If you've got rosacea or eczema, you've got this, increased sensitivity and redness. So your skin is your body's largest organ. So that's number one. So first of all, we will be able to give prescriptions just on the go, or you get your weekly prescription. Number two, I think that more and more things that happen in a derm's office will actually happen at home.
Mm,
So, for instance, the radio frequency and ultrasound, I think they'll make safer ones at home. They have a few ones. I went to Asia and I saw them, but I wouldn't let them near my skin because it should be under the guidance of a dermatologist. Like these
right.
things are strong and in the wrong hands, because we're not taught how to use lasers, you can do severe damage. So just be careful. The FDA, in this instance, I agree with. Um, so, but I do think more and more things will be done at home. We already have the LED red light therapy happening at home, and you've got some low light level lasers like the Lima laser happening at home. And I think that we will be able to do more things that used to happen at a plastic surgeon's office at a dermatologist's office. So I think in 10 years' time, you know how they've got these thread lifts that don't work
Yeah.
really well, but I think they're going to enhance things like that or enhance lasers where you can have almost the result of a full-on, full-fledged facelift with those. And that is skin lifting. But we're already there with skin dewiness, I call it, because polynucleotides injected do wonderful things for skin dewiness, not polynucleotides topically. They really do have to be injected. Same with exosomes. Topically,
Oh,
we're
right.
still not there yet. I'm looking at that space, but we're not there yet. And we
Yeah.
might be able to do exosomes and, just like we've done with peptides.
Right.
So I think that it's going to be so like the Jetsons, so 20th, 30th century, but you will have to do less and less at a plastic surgeon's office because since once you turn 20 you will be doing things that will keep you almost frozen in time. You can't completely because you will get bone loss around the orbital area that sinks your cheeks in. Same here with your jawline, but it will be so minimal that you will still look amazing. I mean, I'm 50 and I think I look
You look
good
amazing.
at
Yeah.
50.
Yeah. I was
So
shocked when
thank
you
you.
said that. I was like, what?
And I
Yeah.
don't think I even have good lighting here. You know,
Even in bad lighting.
yeah, even,
I glow in,
even
when
in
you glow in
bad
bad
lighting, I
lighting.
look
Yes. That should be everyone's goal
I
is to
look
glow
this
in bad
good
lighting.
even in bad lighting. There you
Yeah.
go.
That's when you know that you're actually radiating from within.
What do you think? Timebeam. I look this good even in bad lighting. So
Yeah, see, there you go. We have a new tagline.
exactly. Thank you, Carmine.
You're welcome. All right, let's move on to the lightning round. First
Yes.
skincare product you ever fell in love with, and it can be that Elizabeth Arden
It
sunscreen
is.
if you
It is.
like.
It was sunscreen. I was using it like continuously.
That's amazing. One daily ritual that grounds you.
Meditation.
Oh wow.
Oh, and meditation is great for your immune system and for looking younger because stress does cause aging and stress causes inflammation that causes aging. So, meditation.
Boom. What's the very first thing you do for your skin when you wake up?
The very first thing I do is I actually go and I open the window and I look outside to get sunlight into my eyes. Then in the morning, I don't wash my face with a cleanser. I use a rice powder
Mm,
because, and I just put it on my skin. I'm liking it. It's a bit finicky, but
yeah,
I have to say I do like it.
yeah. You know what I do?
What do you do? Oh, that's
This, the
amazing.
milky
That's my
serum.
that's my second thing. After the
I
cleanser,
so
I use it.
so I'm up, right? It's
Yeah.
5 o'clock, let's say, and I need to feed the cat. And so I feed the cat, I turn on the coffee machine, and then I go to the bathroom, I wash my face, I put this on, the milky serum, and then I go back out and I wrap up and then I go exercise. I ride 10 or 15 miles on a bike every morning and come home and shower. But this is the first skincare product, and I've been doing this for now 3 months. I
Have you
love
seen a
it.
difference?
Yeah, I have. I
Yeah.
feel very glowy. I mean,
Yes.
look, I'm not coming to it, having outwardly visible issues,
Yes.
right? Like I don't have dark spots, like I don't have any visible evidence of sun damage, but I'm not worried about that, right? Like
Yeah.
I'm worried about advancing my skin health in the best and easiest way possible. All right, morning light or moonlight? What's your natural rhythm?
I'm actually a very flexible person. As long
Mm.
as I get 8 hours of sleep, I'm okay with either. But now I make myself sleep before 11. So I'm actually very flexible. I can be a morning person, I can be a night person. To
What's your
both.
favorite food?
Sprinkles, cupcakes. I do like them. I love them. The red velvet. I have them maybe 3 times a year, but I love them.
Sprinkles.
Yes, I know.
Do you watch the Great British Baking Show? Did you see the episode last week where they had to make homemade sprinkles? I would have quit. That's insane. That is absolutely insane.
No other red
Oh,
velvet cake tastes as good as
right.
the original sprinkles in Los Angeles.
That's amazing. Your go-to ritual when you need to recharge your mind.
Sauna. I do love sauna.
Mm, mm, that's great. I really love sensory deprivation, and I've been doing that. Yeah, once a week, sometimes twice a week. I'm obsessed.
It didn't work for me. I tried and it didn't work for me. But maybe at 50 it's time to try again.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
yeah,
I just love it, and I know because I ride on a bike to the it's called Vessel Floats. And on the way, I'm on New York City streets and I'm like super aggravated,
yeah.
right? Like, get out of the bike lane. Like, what is going on? And on the way back, I have no care I don't even care what anybody else is doing.
Oh
And
wow.
I feel like I'm floating on the way home. It's amazing. Like, the transformation in my mindset is very apparent to me.
I'll have to try it again. I tried it once, didn't work.
Give it a try. Vessel Floats in Williamsburg. Um, One skincare myth you'd like to retire forever.
Two things.
Mhm.
One, that you need a 7-step skincare. I think that's gone. I really do. Number two, and you're not gonna maybe like that, but I think we've vilified the sun so much
Yeah,
that we've created other health problems. This is again not seeing the forest for the trees. So
right.
we vilified the sun, but we do need healthy and smart sun exposure because we're just creating people with mood issues, with anxiety issues, and also people with vitamin D issues. And low vitamin D actually is a cause of certain types of cancer, like colon cancer and others. So, there is this balance where the sun is so powerful. A little, again, the Goldilocks, a little is
Yeah,
good,
for
but we
sure.
and I ate that Kool-Aid. I was vilifying and avoiding the sun for decades, and it made me sick. I had great skin, but it made me sick. So I
Yeah,
think the new generation actually realizes there is a balance in everything. And I think this vilification of the sun that is still going on, yeah, is needs to be addressed and addressed in a proper manner.
yeah. Well, it's about, like you said, it's about balance. And I think it's perfectly okay to put sunscreen on your face and get sun. You get sun anyway. And
Yeah,
I get sun every morning when I ride. And I love that you said that you go to the windows and you open your eyes into the sun. That's amazing.
it resets your body's 24-hour internal clock.
Yeah.
It's one of the healthiest ways to get to sleep at night.
All right. Lastly, one word that defines beauty to you.
Bouncy. It's all about bouncy because at my age, at 50, you have to be realistic. You're going to smile, you're going to get slight creases, right? I have to go
Hmm.
really so you can see them
In the dark.
in the bad lighting. Um,
Yes.
but honestly, I find that to look youthful, it's about glowy, bouncy skin. It's not about the number of wrinkles you have.
Mm,
It's about not looking haggard. It really is this bounciness that says, hey, I'm healthy. I'm just full of water and hydration, and I'm just bouncy. So juicy, bouncy is my new, when I go, like I have two dermatologist friends that I absolutely love. So I go to them and they're like, "You look young." I say, "I look juicy. I look bouncy." But it really is. Juicy, bouncy, I think, is the new, or should be the new, skincare trend.
Love it. Thank you. That's the perfect place to end. Thank you, Dr. Lamise.
Thank you, Carmine.
It
It
was
was
such a
wonderful being on
pleasure.
your show. Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate you so much.
Same here.
Thank you. Ciao.
Ciao. Bye.
All right. Thank you for listening to the Skin Karma Pod. Find more insights, real talk, and reviews of my favorite skincare products on the Skin Karma blog at skinkarma.com. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, please rate and review this episode. It helps me to reach more listeners. Ciao.